Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Pac-Man World Re-Pac. So, we're finishing the carnival stages this time, which is good because they're a bit more tricky because we're getting to the back half of the game. But the boss is a bit weird in that it's not really a boss. But we'll get to that when we get to it.
Is it just another pellet?
No.
It should be, though.
Just launch it right there. That's it.
It's a throwback to a different classic Namco franchise. Can you guess which one? Probably not. There's like 57 of them.
Miss Pac-Man.
No, John. She left him, all right? He only gets to see Pac Jr. on the weekends, all right? Their marriage is ruined. You're making this very difficult for Pac-Man.
Pac-Man can't hear me. He doesn't have any ears.
Oh shit, you're right.
He looks sublimely unconcerned.
What I see there is a man realizing he's a swinging bachelor again.
That's what the drugs are for.
What a downward spiral. He's already falling.
Pac-Man, no!
He's already getting down. We're here for you, Pac-Man. We're here for you. But you gotta be willing to make that leap.
You gotta be here for yourself. Oh, man. But yeah, so John, you said you've never played any of the Pac-Man World games at all? Okay.
No, never have.
And Lewis, you played this in Pac-Man World 2, right?
Fair bit of Pac-Man World 2 at one point, yeah. Although it was a long time ago, so don't ask me to recall anything specific about it.
Fair. Yeah. And nobody here has played the Ghostly Adventures, right?
No.
No,
I
okay.
have no idea what that is.
So, Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures was the attempt to reboot Pac-Man in the 2010s. He's terrifying. It's like the sonic boom of Pac-Man.
It's the Blue Eyes Pac-Man.
Yeah. I've watched a couple episodes of the TV show. It's bad. It's not like so bad it's good. And it's clear that they did, like, try. But that's part of, kind of just makes it worse, unfortunately.
It has that, like, they're definitely writing trademark for children kind of feeling.
Yeah, it's frustrating because it's clear that they did put effort into it, but like Lewis said, I think they underestimated their audience, for sure. And so it's just kind of one of those things where it's not even bad enough that it's good to watch for a laugh. It's just like, why am I watching this? Please, I need to turn it off.
Well, I mean, there's children's television writing like My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, where it goes beyond effort. They make a point to write something that they personally find entertaining, and the result is something that a lot of people outside of the age group find entertaining, because it turns out when a bunch of adults write a children's show that the adults who wrote it, find entertaining, other adults will find it entertaining. When you write trademark for children, you are essentially giving up your own entertainment while you're writing it. You are writing something that you do not find entertaining. Surprise, surprise, other adults will not find it entertaining when you do this.
And the sad thing is, oftentimes children won't find it entertaining either.
You see, yeah, that's the thing that kind of causes it to defeat itself, is because, you, the adult who is writing the children's show, are the only person who can judge during writing whether or not what you are writing is entertaining. So, if you write something that checks off boxes for children's writing, but you do not personally find entertaining, it is a roll of the dice as to whether children will find it entertaining.
I'd imagine, though, in the creative process, though, they do focus test groups with kids specifically.
Yeah, but I mean, focus testing is such a nebulous thing where you can say, oh, we've done focus testing. And as a consumer, we have no idea what the hell that means.
You want to know what the problem with focus testing is? The people you are focus testing on know that you are focus testing them.
And I mean, if that's their job, it's in their best interest to tell you whether or not it's good or not, right? Because as a focus tester, You're not beholden, like, it's your job to be honest, you know?
You think the people who you're doing focus tests with give a shit about that? They don't.
I mean, probably not, no. But, like, so here's the thing. I know that there's an element to, like, corporate culture where you don't want to tell your boss no. Because if your boss is an asshole, he'll, like, get mad at you, and who knows if you're going to keep that job. So, a lot of people working on will work on projects that they don't have much faith in because their boss thinks it's going to be great, and they want to keep their job, and they don't want to say, hey, boss, this actually sucks. The whole idea of a focus tester is to get somebody outside of that bubble who isn't afraid to tell you, hey, this thing actually sucks. So, if you, the company, are not hiring focus testers who are willing to tell you the truth, then you're doing a shitty-ass job being a corporate overlord.
Well, look, here's the real issue with focus testing, though. Okay, the people who you get to do the focus test are supposed to just be randos from age group C or whatever, you know? They are not going to be people you pick out because they're trustworthy as opinion dispensers. They're going to be randos. The problem with randos is that when they're kids, they're just, you know, excited to be involved, and that affects their opinion of the thing. If they're teenagers, they're obnoxious little shits, and they're going to tell you it sucks no matter what. If they're college students, they're both. They're excited to be involved so that they can tell you it sucks no matter what.
And they also get credit for it, so, you know.
This is like, you know, if you're focus testing on adults, you probably, you know, can count on having a semi-honest, semi-competent set of opinions, because at least part of that group is going to, like, know enough about focus testing to take it seriously. But if you're focus testing adults, you could just be getting the opinions of your coworkers, you know?
Well, that's the point I was trying to make.
I don't even think it's a matter of, like, knowing that they're in a focus test group. I think it's just, as an adult thing, is following instructions given to you.
Yeah.
To go back to Ted's point a little bit earlier, in Japan they have what's called the Angry American. So they have someone who's foreign on staff specifically to tell the boss that their idea sucks, because Americans apparently don't care about what their boss thinks.
Oh, yeah. The work culture in Japan is big on obedience and keeping up appearances, so it's very hard to get anyone to disagree with the boss. Yes.
Yeah.
But they it amuses me that they know enough, that they know it's important enough to have that stereotype. I'm American and I can't even be mad.
It's like almost being self-aware, kind of. I do love these little bits of the game where you just, like, fly around munching the Pac dots. They're cooler in Pac-Man World 2 because the behind-the-back camera allows for more interesting kind of flybys. But they're, like, an element of the game that I really enjoy, and it's, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna mention the S word again. It's almost like a Sonic kind of, we're going to take a 20-second break from the action to let you enjoy this cool visual.
We brought it up before, I think, earlier in the commentary. I compared it to Super Mario Galaxy when you're launching between launch stars. And you have, like, that chill period of Mario just zooming through the air.
You see, so here's the thing about Mario Galaxy, though, is that because Mario Galaxy is... I love Mario Galaxy. Like, if I had to pick a top 3 favorite games, I think Mario Galaxy is probably on that list. The pointer thing where you're trying to get all of the star bits while you're flying, it adds, like, a little fun minigame to it, so that it certainly is a break from, like, the active platforming, but you're not, like, just being like, ooh, that's neat, in the same way that you are when you're in, like, an auto loop section in Sonic, or in this where you're literally just watching Pac-Man fly by. It's a small amount of input, and it's certainly not as strenuous, but I mean, kind of. If you want to get every single one of them, you have to be pretty quick in Mario Galaxy. No, I don't think. Man, Mario Galaxy...
Wiimote is pretty generous, though. little lenient, or like how far you actually have to tilt the remote to
it's
move the
not
pointer
that it's
across the
hard,
screen.
but like
Yeah.
some of them are only on the screen for like maybe a second. So if your
Right.
reflexes aren't quick.
And as we know, star bits are really hard to come by in
Oh
that game.
man, it's so hard to get star bits. You can't just replay that one level where you're in the top-down view and like grab a whole bunch of them, get 50, die, and then with your new extra life, get another 50 for 20 minutes to be able to unlock all.
But it's interesting that you think of like downtime though, and you were like your idea. You were going to go to Sonic first, and I know that like a long-standing critique of like the 3D era specifically is that sometimes it feels like you're more on a roller coaster ride with no player input than actually playing the game. But I would never call it like cozy, because it's still high speed, like antics sort of thing. I feel like, so I really feel like I wouldn't be able to rest.
So it's a different kind of thing, and every Sonic game does this. Like going back to, not really Sonic 1, but going back to definitely Sonic 2, there's parts in pretty much every stage where you are expected to just hold right and watch Sonic do a cool thing for 10 to 20 seconds before you get back to active platforming.
Yeah.
And that's not inherently a bad thing. Like, part of Sonic is spectacle. Like, being able, like, if you're not good at Sonic, you still want to have a few moments in each stage where you feel like you're running as fast as Sonic can run. Like, that's a benefit, not a bug.
The other thing about the 2D Sonic specifically, though, is that because of... why do you always fall off that one balloon?
It's because he's not using the D-pad and he's using the controls.
Yeah, but it's always the same balloon each time. We could be looping the same footage of the same bonus stage each time. The thing about 2D Sonic, though, is that you're not actually being automated through those loops. So you do need to sort of pay attention through the loop sections, because if you don't, you're going to miss some point at which you have to jump in order to get to an alternate path. And even if you're not doing that, the really physics-savvy players can jump at a certain point of the loop in order to leap down to the bottom of the loop and get an extra burst of speed there.
I'm more talking about playing casually, though. Like,
well, yeah, but my point is that there's definitely something interactive to be found there. Whereas with the 3D Sonics, it is literally just an auto loop, and the loops themselves last longer, and you can't even try to break out of them, because either the game just flat out won't let you, or doing so will send you, like, careening into the abyss. Depending on which game you're talking about.
I guess the point that I was making is just that having those moments is fine. It's more when you feel like none of your input matters.
Yeah.
Like having which one's this supposed to be? Like Road Rally, Gran Turismo,
Rally X,
Grand Theft Auto, Pac-Man.
Oh no.
You ever just try to go for a nice Sunday drive and then your robot doppelganger comes by and says, "Hey, fucker," and then leers at you in a way that makes someone write a fan fiction online?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh no, evil clowns.
Right, clown cars, I get it.
I have nothing to say about this, like at all.
Hey, you guys are cheating. They didn't say go yet. This game's stupid.
But they're clowns, though.
Have you ever actually tried to play a racing game in first person?
Yes, Ridge Racer.
Oh.
I mean, I do enough driving in first person in real life. I mean, wasn't that a Mythbusters, though, where, like, they tried to get somebody to drive a real car in third person by blacking out the windshield and putting a screen on it with a camera that was, like, jerry-rigged to the back of the car?
A drone.
And it was, like, practically impossible to do.
I mean, I would imagine the thing about, like, trying to drive a racing game in first person, though, is that, like, because I can't feel the car, it doesn't work.
Yeah, you also, like, when you're driving...
I think you're also able to disassociate in a video game knowing that none of it's real, so you feel you can get away with doing riskier shit.
Yeah, it also doesn't matter if you crash anything in a video game car. But the other thing is that when you're in a car, you're not just looking out the windshield. You also turn your head to check your blind spot and, like, look out the side windows to get a 360 view. Like, you're not just looking out straight in front of you, which is different than when you're playing a video game. And you
Peripheral vision.
I think this is actually one of the, like, few instances where I think VR would, like, legitimately make it a lot better. Is that, like, a first-person driving game with VR probably would feel a lot more natural than a first-person driving game without it.
Any first-person game with VR would feel a lot more natural without.
I mean, probably, yeah, you're right. I don't play a lot of stuff in first-person, so that's...
There's some pretty legitimately good VR stuff, even just VR ports of older games that are in first person. VR Skyrim is pretty freaking fantastic.
The only one I can go off the top of my head is RE4 VR. People have nothing but good things to say about that.
The new one, or is this the old one?
I mean, it's based off of the old one.
Really? Because
I don't know if it's a mod.
You know, according to my Twitter feed, the only thing worth saying about it is, oh no, they cut out that one line I like.
Yeah, but you surround yourself in a negative cesspool of humanity.
I don't try to.
I mean, you're on social media, so by necessity, you're surrounded by a negative cesspool of humanity. Pac-Man, you're not wearing your seatbelt. What sort of example are you setting?
So Pac Jr.'s not here anymore.
You didn't even try to pick up all the fruit. You just drove straight through the middle of it. I could see some of it still floating there.
Yeah, but imagine having to go into reverse and be like, and then, like, who wants to do all that?
Why did they just dump all that in, like, a mess in front of you that you couldn't possibly get in one straight shot?
They tried.
Weird.
Like, they scooched it into the middle so that ideally you would be able to get it all in one straight shot. There was a singular effort that was made.
Just the one.